ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ. ನಾರಾಯಣಂ ನಮಸ್ಕೃತ್ಯಂ ನರಂ ಚೈವ ನರೋತ್ತಮಂ ದೇವಿಂ ಸರಸ್ವತಿಂ ವ್ಯಾಸಂ ತತೋ ಜಯಮುದೀರಯೇ. ನಷ್ಟಪ್ರಾಯೇಷು ಅಭದ್ರೇಷು ನಿತ್ಯಂ ಭಾಗವತ ಸೇವಯ ಭಗವತೆ ಉತ್ತಮ ಶ್ಲೋಕೆ ಭಕ್ತಿರ್ಭವತಿ ನೈಷ್ಟಕಿ. ಮೂಕಂ ಕರೋತಿ ವಾಚಾಲಂ ಪಂಗುಂ ಲಂಘಯತೆ ಗಿರಿಂ ಯತ್ಕೃಪಾತಮಹಂ ವಂದೇ ಶ್ರೀಗುರು ದೀನತಾರಿಣಂ. ಚೈತನ್ಯಮೀಶ್ವರಂ ಓಮಜ್ಞಾನತಿಮಿರಂಧಸ್ಯ ಜ್ಞಾನಾಂಜನಾಶಲಾಕಯ ಚಕ್ಷುರುನ್ಮಿಲಿತಂ ಯೇನ ತಸ್ಮೈ ಶ್ರೀಗುರುವೇ ನಮಃ. ನಮೋ ಓಂ ವಿಷ್ಣುಪಾದಾಯ ಕೃಷ್ಣಪೃಷ್ಠಾಯ ಭೂತಲೆ ಶ್ರೀಮತೆ ಭಕ್ತಿವೇದಾಂತ ಸ್ವಾಮಿನಿತಿ ನಾಮಿನೇ. ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಸರಸ್ವತೆ ದೇವೆ ಗೌರವಾಣಿ ಪ್ರಚಾರಿಣಿ ನಿರ್ವಿಶೇಷ ಶೂನ್ಯವಾದಿ ಪಾಶ್ಚಾತ್ಯ ದೇಶತಾರಿಣಿ. ಜಯ ಶ್ರೀ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಪ್ರಭು ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ಅದ್ವೈತ ಗದಾಧರ ಶ್ರೀವಾಸದಿ ಗೌರಭಕ್ತವೃಂದ. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ 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 ಹರೇ ಹರೇ. ಹರೇ ರಾಮ 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 ಹರೇ ಹರೇ. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಓಂ ತತ್ಸತ್. Hare Krishna. Welcome you all for Bhagavatam study, Monday to Thursday. So today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, Text 46, right? Who is going to read? Anybody allocated? Shruti Mataji, anybody allocated?
Sridevi Mataji is allocated, and I am 47. Okay, I'll lead 46, Prabhuji. 47 was allocated to me. I don't know. I think Sridevi Mataji has just not joined the thing. I'll read, huh?
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Text Srimad Bhagavatam 1.13.46. Kala karma gunadino dehoyam pasya bhautika katam anyam astu gopaya sarpagrasto yata param. Translation: the gross material body made up of 5 elements is already under the control of eternal time kala, action, karma, and the modes of material nature guna. How then can it, being already in the jaws of the serpent, protect others? Purport: Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The world's movements for freedom through political, economic, social, and cultural propaganda can do no benefit to anyone, for they are controlled by superior power. A conditioned living being is under the full control of material nature, represented by eternal time and activities under the dictation of different modes of nature. There are three material modes of nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. Unless one is situated in the mode of goodness, one cannot see things as they are. The passionate and the ignorant cannot even see things as they are. Therefore, a person who is passionate and ignorant cannot direct his activities on the right path. Only the man in the quality of goodness can help to a certain extent. Most persons are passionate and ignorant, and therefore their plans and projects can hardly do any good to others. Above the modes of nature is eternal time, which is called Kala, because it changes the shape of everything in the material world. Even if we are able to do something temporarily beneficial, time will see that the good project is frustrated in course of time. The only thing possible to be done is to get rid of eternal time Kala, which is compared to Kala Sarpa or the cobra snake whose bite is always lethal. No one can be saved from the bite of a cobra. The best remedy for getting out of the clutches of the cobra like Kala or its integrity, the modes of nature, is Bhakti Yoga, as it is recommended in the Bhagavad Gita 14.26. The highest perfectional project of philanthropic activities is to engage everyone in the act of preaching Bhakti Yoga all over the world, because that alone can save the people from the control of Maya or the material nature represented by Kala, Karma, and Guna as described above. The Bhagavad Gita confirms this definitely. Hare Krishna. So, what I understood here is Prabhu that time, the Kala is represents the time, and it is like Kala Sarpa or the cobra snake whose bite is always poisonous. So, in order to get away from the clutches of Kala and Maya and the modes of nature, we have to practice Bhakti Yoga, and this is what ISKCON and other organizations who are in the parampara are teaching others, because the material body is made up of five elements, and it is always under the control of this time kala and action and the modes of thing guna, that is the three guna, satoguna, rajoguna and tamoguna. Then how can we protect others and ourselves? It is only through bhakti yoga as recommended in chapter 14 point shloka 26 of Bhagavad Gita, and also by preaching bhakti yoga to others we can bring them out of phala. This is what I understood, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Not
Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada. So, yeah, here Narada Muni further talking to Vishnu Maharaj is saying, this gross body is made of five panchabhutas, like earth, water, air, ether. So, and the end, it will go back to the same. The body is made of this five items, and when I leave this body, the soul leaves, it will go back to either to the fire or earth or whatever it is, it will go back to the same. Now, this body is under the control of Kala and Karma and Prakriti. These four things, three things. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about the five topics. He talks about Ishvara, he talked about Jiva, he talks about Prakriti, he talks about Kala and Karma. So, out of the five, he says that this four you cannot change. Ishvara we cannot change, Jiva we cannot change, Prakriti we cannot change, Kala we cannot change, but Karma we can change. So here Naramani also talks about when this body is made of this Panchabhutas and is in the clutches of the cobra-like time, how can he save himself? So here the Krishna also saying, but the karma, which is the most important thing, which is entangling us, because various janma, this janma, previous janma, the karma is entangling. So that can be saved only bhakti yoga, devotion service. When we offer bhakti to the Supreme Lord, my karma of a million years, it get burned. Simple one chanting Hare Krishna mantra, the so many lives, my sinful reactions gets burned. That's how my karma gets burnt. So that's why here Prabhupada says that they are in a jaws of a cobra-like snake, poisonous snake. Their one bite is a very lethal, very poisonous. But in Prabhupada purport, he begins a very, very important topic. He says that the world's movement for freedom through political, economic, or social cultural propaganda can do no benefit for anyone. So today's world also people say, I do so much benefit. I will build this political party. I'll do some, economic development and some cultural. No, they cannot do real benefit to the soul. They may do some temporary benefit. They may solve some temporary problems, but they cannot solve the real problems. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. Or these are the real problems. Nobody can solve the death. Nobody can solve disease. They may find some medicine, some hospitals. The more hospitals, more doctors, more disease. They cannot, solve old age. They can find some cosmetics, can reduce their the external appearance. But one day everybody has to go. So Prabhupada talks here that unless one reaches mode of goodness, he cannot even understand. Even the mode of passion and ignorant, they cannot even think what they are fact. What they cannot understand what is the real fact at all. Only the mode of goodness they can at least understand. But that's not enough. Mode of goodness is also in the prison house. So there is example given like the prison house, the different grades of prison house, the most notorious kind of criminal and ordinary criminal, and there is a political or hi-fi criminal. So they may have different facilities, but prison is a prison. So mode of goodness is also we are bound maybe in the golden chain. Mode of passion, we are also bound maybe in the silver chain. Mode of ignorance is also bound, but in the iron chain. End of the day, everybody is in the prison house. So this prison house, the material world is prison house. So what can be done? Prabhupada says, this is managed by Kala. He says about the modes of nature, eternal time, which is called Kalda, because it's the shape of everything in the material world. Kala is the one manages. Even the previous chapter we have seen when Yudhishthira Maharaj went and approached Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev said, it is because of Kala. It's not your fault. It's time, because in our life also, the time that makes a difference. Each minute goes, is gone. I cannot buy back. I cannot take back that minute. That's why Acharya is saying that, please, please, you got this human life. Use it very, effectively for the service of the Lord. Otherwise, anyway, you'll have to go. But if you miss this human body, you'll have to take another millions of life to get back to human body. If you're lucky enough, maybe next body we get, but what guarantee that we'll be able to do bhakti? This is the golden age. Just Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared just 540 years before. Srila Prabhupada came just few years before, and he has given all the facilities. Just make use of it. Go back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, we'll miss it. That's the reason Prabhupada is humbly pleading, requesting, please, please take up this holy name. Please chant the holy name nicely, attentively, lovingly. Make your life successful. Otherwise, you will be bound with the cobra like Kala, will be bitten, and will have to go through Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, the cycle. This is the total failure of the human life. The success of human life is going back home, back to Godhead. Prabhupada says that is the real home. Allirudu nammane, illirudu summane, Dasara says. We have to go back. So Prabhupada says the only thing possible to be done to get rid of it, eternal time, Kala, which is compared to Kala Sarpa or cobra like snake, which is a bit of lethal, is devotional service. Nothing else. Nothing else can save us. So the remedy for getting out of the clutches of the cobra like Kala or is Bhakti Yoga. Simply take up devotional service, Bhakti Yoga, chanting the holy name, reading Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavad Gita, and serving Vaishnavas. Vaishnava service is very, very nice, because Krishna says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Dasa, 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 and Dasa. He says that those who serving me are not my devotees. Those who serving my devotees are devotees. The last one who serves my devotee, he is my devotee. He is my real, devotee. So that's the mood in which we develop. Serve Vaishnavas, serve Prasadam, serve, various acharyas. That is where we can develop a bhakti. The only thing possible is devotional service. That's why Prabhupada says Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga means devotional service. In 1426, Krishna says that Mamecha vicharena bhakti yogena sevate saguna samtiptyate brahma bhutya kalpate. The translation, Srila Prabhupada does that. One who engages in a full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the mode of material nature, thus comes to the level of Brahman. What is Brahman? Brahman means the Supreme Lord. So to come to that level, he says that devotional service unfailing at every circumstance, In our cases, my cases, when everything good, I'm okay. If something goes wrong, I'll stop chanting. I will do all this, avoid devotional service, because I think that my mental speculation can help me. No. So, in Rupa Goswami also says, Anya Bilashita Shunya, Jnana Karmadi Anavrutam, Anukulena, Anushilana Bhakti Ruttam. At any circumstances, without any Abhilashita, without any desire, simply serve, and Anukulena, Anushilana, which is favorable to Krishna and also as desired by him. So we are served simply. Here also Bhagavad Gita Krishna says that in the one who does that, he can transcend these three modes, transcendental service. He can go beyond mode of goodness, Shuddha Sattva, the pure devotional service. That's the stage we can reach. but that should be our target. That should be our aim of life, reach that level so that we can serve Krishna nicely. Srila Vishnu Thakur writes here, no one can protect anyone else by giving maintenance. Or, many places we can see, right? Doing a charity, and I'm not kind of criticizing charity, but giving some money, giving something, but what problem we can solve? How long we can give, giving money or giving food? How long? Yes, definitely we have to give food. But if you give Krishna Prasad, at least they can transcend their, their consciousness. Definitely we have to help. Not that I'm not saying Krishna, distribute Krishna Prasad as much as possible than giving simply food or giving money. Money, we don't know what will happen. That's why Chakravarti says, time is the general cause, karma is a cause of birth, guna indicates that material cause, body made of 5 elements is dependent on this. The bodies with this constituents is quickly subject to destruction. We know there are 6 growth of in a human body or any living body. It takes birth, it grows, it does a substance or sustenance, it maintains, then it reproduces, then dwindles, and finally dies. So every child is born, he grows, then he maintains, then that male, female, then reproduction starts. After that, some years start dwindling, the wrinkle starts, the eyes become the weak, so teeth goes, but bone started become weak, and finally leave. This is the growth in every living entity. But if you want to eliminate this, the only process given by Shastra and all the acharyas, just take up a devotional service. And especially in Kali Yuga, just by chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can you read the next sloka?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Amataji, go ahead.
Prabhuji, previous sloka I allocated to myself,
Yeah.
and this to Shruti Mataji.
Yeah, Shruti Mataji read. You can read this now.
Yes, Prabhuji. Text 47. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ahastani sahastanam apadani chatuspadam palguni tatra mahatam jiva jivasya jivanam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Translation: those who are devoid of hands, sir, pray for those who have hands. Those devoid of legs are pray for the four-legged. The weak are the subsistence of the strong, and the general rule holds that one living being is food for another. Purport: a systematic law of subsistence is a struggle for existence is there by the supreme will, and there is no escape for everyone by any amount of planning. The living beings who have come to the material world against the will of the supreme being are under the control of the supreme power called Maya Sakti, the deputed agent of the Lord. And this Daiva Maya is meant to pinch the conditioned souls by threefold miseries, one of which is explained here in this verse. The weak are the subsistence of the strong. No one is strong enough to protect himself from the onslaught of a stronger. And by the will of the Lord, there are systematic categories of the weak, the stronger and the strongest. There is nothing to be lamented if a tiger eats a weaker animal, including a man, because that is the law of the Supreme Lord. But although the law states that a human being must subsist on another living being, there is the law of good sense also. For the human being is meant to obey the laws of the scriptures. This is impossible for the other animals. The human being is meant for self-realization, and for that purpose, he is not to eat anything which is not first offered to the Lord. The Lord accepts from his devotees all kinds of food preparations made of vegetables, fruits, leaves, and grains. Fruits, leaves, and milk in different varieties can be offered to the Lord. And after the Lord accepts the foodstuffs, the devotee can partake of the prasada, by which all sufferings in this struggle for existence will be gradually mitigated. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9.26. Even those who are accustomed to eat animals can offer foodstuffs not to the Lord directly, but to an agent of the Lord under certain conditions of religious rites. Injunctions of the scriptures are meant to not to encourage the eaters of animals, but to restrict them by regulated principles. The living being is the source of subsistence for others. Stronger living beings. No one should be very anxious for his subsistence of any circumstances, because there are living beings everywhere and no living being starves for want of food at any place. Maharaja Yudhishthira is advised by Narada not to worry about his uncle's suffering for want of food, for they could live on vegetables available in the jungles as prasada of the Supreme Lord, and thus realize the path of salvation. Exploitation of the weaker living beings by the stronger is the natural law of existence. There is always an attempt to devour the weak in different kingdoms of living beings. There is no possibility of checking this tendency by any artificial means under material conditions. It can be checked only by awakening the spiritual sense of the human beings, by practice of spiritual regulations. The spiritual regulative principles, however, do not allow a man to slaughter weaker animals on one side and teach others peacefully coexistence. If man does not allow the animals peacefully coexistence, how can he expect peaceful existence in human society? The blind leaders must therefore understand the Supreme Being and then try to implement the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God, or Ramaraja, is impossible without the awakening of God consciousness in the mass mind of the people of the world. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
So here, so in the loss of this existence, there is always, there are weaker animals are controlled by the stronger animals. Like suppose the tiger is strong, this tiger can eat human beings. Human beings eat chicken and this fish and lower animals. They are weaker.
No. Purple is saying, no, human cannot eat.
That's what Prabhuji. Actually, because one stronger will eat, one lower, little weaker animals. Like
Animals
that.
only, not for the human.
But here, Lord says that human beings, because they're they have that knowledge of self-realization. They should self-realize and they should not eat. That's
Correct.
what previously they used to eat. But because the human, they have intelligence and they have self-realization, that means they have come from the Godhead and they have to go back to the Godhead. That understanding is there for the human beings. They should not eat these humans, these animals. They have to eat only vegetables and fruits and food grains and milk products. First, they have to offer to the Lord, and that offering they have to take as prasada. And that also is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9.26. So actually, there are some kind of people who eats, but that also they have to. There are some religious rites they have to do in a some that manner. I don't know what that is, Prabhu. They have to do in some religious rites. Injunctions of the scriptures are meant to not to encourage the eaters of. So those people also, they should not eat and they should not encourage the eating of animals. They should be regulated. They have to follow the principles. So that's what Maharaja Yudhishthira, he says to Narada that I mean, he need not the Dhritarashtra going to this jungle. He need not worry for food. He can eat vegetables fruits and all, and he can take it as the prasada. And Supreme Lord, he has to go for the understanding of the Supreme Lord and the path of salvation. The
Thank you.
remaining you can explain, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, here Narada Muni explained to Yudhishthira Maharaj, because Yudhishthira is kind of lamenting what happened to my uncles, Dhritarashtra and Vidura and aunt Gandhari. So Narada Muni is saying, don't worry, Krishna has arranged food for everybody. So they will also take some fruits, leaves, and offer to Krishna, take prasad, they can sustain. So that is the point he's saying. Also talks about for living human being, the food is given, patram pushpam phalam toyam yomi bhakti prayachati. He says, patra pushpa phalam. This is the kind of a food or sustenance given for human being. But other animals, there are food is given, jivasya jivo, one jiva for other, but for not for human, because human is a kind of a self-realized or matured person, the jiva, which is not meant for eating another living entity, because the law of karma applies to human, not for any other jiva. Till the jiva comes to in the body of human, the law of karma doesn't get activated. Once he comes to the material, the human form, his law of karma comes in. That's why if a tiger eats another animal, he has no karma. He doesn't get sin. But a human kills another jiva, he gets sin. That's the point. That's why Prabhupada says that the being under the control of a supreme power called Maya Shakti. So Maya, there's a Yoga Maya, Mahamaya. The Mahamaya is the one controlling all of us. So Deviyesha Gunamai Mama Maya Durathaya, Krishna says that my Shakti, my Maya is my Shakti. You cannot do anything. But when you surrender to me, she will not disturb you. This is how Krishna says that. So when we surrender to Krishna, Maya also will not disturb us. So our mood should be always to surrender to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada writes, no one is strong enough to protect himself from the onslaught of a stronger. By the will of the Lord, there is a systematic categories of the weak and stronger. But human body, we got this human body, we have to engage this body for service of Krishna. That is the only way to protect ourselves. Otherwise, like any animal, Prabhupada says, people will die like cats and dogs. Cats and dogs also die, we also die. Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maituna, these four things, human also does, animal also does. Then what's the difference? They also eat, we also eat. Ahara, Nidra, they also sleep, we also sleep. Bhaya, they also fight. If one dog goes to another compound, the dog start barking. Similarly, when somebody enters our compound, our house, we also start shouting. Or it can be a house or state level or country level. Borders, we see how the each border is protected with so many arms. So the fight is there. And Maituna, recreation, reproduction happens, animal, also human. Then what is the difference? Atato Brahma Jijnasa. At least now we got this human body. Ask a question, who I am, where from I came, where from I am going, what is my duty? That's the question I should ask the human. That question we cannot ask for a tiger or an animal or the cat or dog. Only human can ask. So human body, we should make use of this. And for that purpose, Krishna Prasad is the best. Prasad is Saksha Darshan of Krishna. So whatever offered to Krishna, with the love, Krishna says, Ashnami, I'll eat. But that becomes Prasad. When we eat Prasad, our brain tissue gets purified. Our thinking process gets purified. Our so much lives of sin gets purified. So that's what Prabhupada also says here. An agent of the Lord under the certain conditions, religious rites. So Mataji was talking about that. So those who are real bent upon eating animal, for them, the condition given that they can offer to Kali. So what is the condition? Condition is that they have to go on Amavasya day, that in the midnight, to Kali temple, and he should go alone. Those who want to eat, he has to go alone with that animal. and offer to Kali. Now, those days, Kali temple is outside the village, near the forest, and Amavasya day, midnight, dark, and he has to go alone. If he has that guts, in the night, midnight, go alone, night, and then offer to Kali and come back. Then he can eat. So whole purpose of giving condition is that there's discourage people to killing animal. This is applicable only those people who are bent upon. So only such people. That's why Prabhupada says no one should be very anxious of his sustenance in any circumstance, because there are living beings everywhere. No living being starves for want of food. Prabhupada many places said nobody dies the scarcity of food. People die because overeating, because of unwanted eating. All the disease, blood sugar or cholesterol, all BP, all this comes because our eating habits, living habits, and eating unwanted and extra items, not because of starving. Actually, those starve, those do fasting, they get better health. Where there are the people who got a Nobel Prize on doing analysis on fasting. We normally do Ekadashi fasting. So the same fasting every 15 days, those are fasting for the health of the body is very good. And there's I think an American or European person who did a study on this, and he got Nobel Prize. But our Shastra talks about that. Every Ekadashi, fast it. Simple process, and we make our life successful. But the peaceful existence, today also we are talking about the Ramarajya. Ramarajya means not that only taking care of a human, take care of every living entity, peaceful existence of every living entity. Krishna says, Aham bija pradapitha. He says, I'm the seed-giving father for every living entity, including birds or chicken or mutton, or everybody is our brothers and sisters. We have to live together, make them to also live. With this, I'll stop here. Devotees can share their comments. Hare Krishna. Yeah. We want to start. Maybe Varsha Mataji can start from it.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the class. So today my understanding was how much ever things grow, but as you said, Janma, Mrityu, all those things cannot be changed. So in this human life, we have to go. So better I utilize the human body I have got, and better I go into the devotional services and utilize this life. And one more thing about human eating, you have said, Prabhuji, that not to eat meat and all. What about this garlic onion? I mean, I'm not glorifying it, but what is it wrong? It is also fruits or something like that, no, Prabhuji. And the one more thing I had was about karma. You said only human life had karma, but then whatever suffering we are doing right now, but it is all based on past karma only, no? Why are we suffering?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll touch upon both. I'll touch the second question first. So a karma starts from the human body. So whichever human body I had before, whatever karma is there is carried forward. In between, if I had any other body, like any bird, animal, karma doesn't change. Karma continues as it is till I get the another human body. From there continues. So sin karma is only for human.
Humans. Okay, Prabhuji.
Understand? Maybe 10 lives before, 100 lives before, or a million lives before, I had a human body. So that time I did sin. So after that, due to various my sin, I got different animal or bird's body. Finally, I got again human body. Now that karma comes here. I continue from here. Maybe in the previous life also, maybe I was in human. We don't know. So then also I'll continue. That's a karma. So, and talking about onion garlic. Yeah. I mean, a good question. So there are two, generally the answers can be given, scientific answer and spiritual answer. Spiritual, the Samudra Manthan happens. So where the Samudra Manthan happens, the Amrita comes. The Mohini Devi gives some Amrita to. So actually the demons, they also wanted Amrita. The Devatas also wanted Amrita. So Mohini Devi says, okay, you all come in a queue. I'll give everybody.
Yeah.
So Devatas, the stand. So Mohini Devi start giving to Devatas. So these demons started thinking that if we wait, the Mohini Devi will finish giving to Devatas, will not get anything.
Mm.
So Rahu and Ketu, two demons, they
Yes,
took the
Prabhuji.
disguise of Devatas. They come in the and stood in the queue of Devatas.
Mm.
So Mohini Devi put Amrita in their hand. They started drinking. Then Mohini Devi realized they are not Devatas, they are demons. So she cut off their head.
Mm.
So from that blood, the red cell become garlic, and white cell become red cell become onion, white cell become garlic,
Okay.
blood cell. So
Mm.
that's the reason it's also considered as a non-veg, because
Okay.
the origin is from the blood of a demon.
Mm.
That's the one reason. Now, scientifically also, the onion garlic is generally considered as a having negative energy.
Mm.
It increases your sex appetite and increases your negative energy in the body. This you can
Okay.
see not only ISKCON, in many of the yoga places, they say, if you're coming for yoga, please avoid onion garlic. There are many people say that.
Yes,
Even
Prabhuji.
the pilots, the
Mm-hmm.
aircraft pilots,
Mm.
they generally give a direction that 6 hours before, 8 hours before, they are advised not to consume onion garlic,
Okay.
because pilots requires a very sharp thinking, decision making,
Mm-hmm.
landing or takeoff, because the negative energy makes them dull. So
Okay.
that's the one reason. So Prabhupada advises that you want a devotee, you want to be focused on devotion service, you should be
Mm.
attentive on your chanting and japa, and not to get into so much sex appetite. So avoid onion garlic. That's a
Okay.
hope that answers.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank
Thank you so much.
thank you. So Uma Shankar Prabhu, any comments?
No, Prabhuji. Thanks, Prabhuji, for the class. And the karma is well explained, Prabhuji. That is the point of takeaway for today's class. And also, we should follow the regulatory principles. So we should not. Why we should differ from eating meat. So this should be followed, Prabhuji. And all the regulatory principles should be followed. Right.
Thank you. Sridev Mataji, any comments?
Oh, yes, Prabhuji. The conditioned living being is under the control of material nature. And there are three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Unless one is in the mode of goodness, he cannot see things as they are. The passionate and ignorant people, they cannot direct the things in the right way. Because their
Thank
activities,
you, Mataji.
whatever
Thank
they
you.
plan to do,
Shruti Mataji, anything?
Nothing, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
No
Anybody?
comments, Prabhu.
Okay. Mariappan Prabhu, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Body is under the control of time, and karma can be handled by bhakti yoga and chanting. And present leaders, including UNESCO or United Nations, any of these organizations are not capable of solving the present problems unless they understand the real Krishna consciousness and the literatures of spiritual literatures, because they must be able to overcome the gunas, three natures of gunas. And present age is the golden age. Make use of human body, chant the holy name of Supreme Lord to go back to Godhead, and serve Vaishnavas, develop the mood of dasanadasa without any desire. Stick on to devotional service irrespective of whatever happens in day-to-day life. And Narada Muni consoles Yudhishthira that Supreme Lord takes care of all living entities, including Dhritarashtra and Kantari. That is how he informs the whole world that Supreme Lord is completely takes care of the needs of every living entity in this world. One must surrender to Supreme Lord to escape the clutches of Maya or illusion. Only human body is capable of self-realization, and devotional services, including chanting holy name of Supreme Lord, prasadam and fasting for Ekadashi are perfect procedure emphasized in devotion, Prabhuji. That much I have understood. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay, I think Lakshmi Mataji anything is there. If not, Archana Mataji. Yeah, Mataji, please.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Nothing.
Archana Mataji, anything? Any points?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. No, Prabhuji, thank you. Thank you.
Asha Mataji.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, joined late, but I got the gist. Prabhuji, thank you for the class.
Thank you. Varsha Mataji, one comment on the onion garlic. Somebody may say that garlic is good for health, medicinal value. Yeah, no doubt.
Yes,
But
Prabhuji.
medicinal value. But we don't consume medicine daily. Correct, no? So that's the one thing. And also, if our daily food habits are done properly, those medicine not required. You
Yes,
know,
Prabhuji.
like why do we, example, garlic, they say good for heart, but why that cholesterol increases? Because unwanted things, meat and things like that. So one way we are increasing the cholesterol, other way we're putting it. So by avoiding both, we can, save ourselves.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Regarding onion, Prabhuji, they are also like intoxicants only.
I mean, light negative energy is that, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll stop here. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyavasya patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo ananta koti vaishnav vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. So see you tomorrow, same time. Hare Krishna.